what is or what isn't anti-Semitism, and why it is that the U.S. Congress seems to be, well, losing its collective mind this week on this topic. The target or said perpetrator of this anti-Semitism this time is a young congresswoman. Her name is Ilhan Omar, who is overtly, if not unabashedly, critical of Israel's foreign policy and its influence over U.S. foreign policy. So we have a report on all of this from one of our correspondents. But before I get to that, I want to put out exactly what this congresswoman has said, right? I want you to see the words for yourself. You decide, okay? Number one, she says, Israel has hypnotized the world. May Allah awaken the people and help them see the evil doings of Israel. Number two, I want to talk about the political influence in this country that says it is okay for people to push for allegiance to a foreign country. Number three, and by the way, this one occurred when she was asked about the Israeli lobby AIPAC and its influence on the U.S. She says, it's all about the Benjamins. Okay, are those quotes anti-Semitic or simply critical of Israel or both? And can you even say one without being accused of the other? It is a question America must grapple with. But good luck getting a fair and open or honest debate about this in any corporate media entity. Meanwhile, here now is our correspondent, Caleb Maupin.
Top Democrats in Congress have spent the last week drafting a resolution condemning what they consider to be bigotry and offensive speech. And it's not from Trump or Republicans. It's from fellow Democrat Ilhan Omar, the freshman congresswoman. She talked about the Israel lobby, and they say that that is offensive to Jews.
I want to talk about the political influence in this country that says it is okay for people to push for allegiance to a foreign country.
Some Democrats are demanding an apology for a comment they say represented blatant anti-Semitism.
I am saddened that Representative Omar continues to mischaracterize support for Israel. I urge her to retract the statement and engage in further dialogue with the Jewish community on why these comments are so hurtful.
Additionally, questioning support for the U.S.-Israel relationship is unacceptable.
So, the Democrats had their resolution. It was all set. They were ready to put it to a vote. But then they had a big problem because people from their own party came out swinging against it.
I'm curious if Representative Vargas will further explain his stance here that it's unacceptable to even question U.S. foreign policy.
Some Democrats were willing to compromise and added language to the resolution condemning Islamophobia as well as anti-Semitism.
What Congresswoman Omar said I thought was wrong and hurtful, but I also want to say that what happened linking all Muslims to the terrorist attack was wrong and hurtful.
And the divide is getting deeper. At this point, the hard-left Democrats are rallying around the Green New Deal. This is a resolution that would completely revamp America's transportation system, reorient the energy markets, and build lots of infrastructure. At first, Nancy Pelosi had quite a few questions about it.
The Green Dream, or whatever they call it, nobody knows what it is, but they're for it, right? It will be one of several or maybe many suggestions that we receive.
Now, Republicans were ready to put the Green New Deal up for a vote, but then Democrats got fired up.
They're bringing a resolution forward so they can vote against it. This cheap, cynical ploy evidently represents the sum total of Senate Republicans' leadership on the vital issue of climate change.
The same goes for impeachment. The Democratic Socialists want Trump ousted right away.
When your son looks at you and says, Mama, look, you won, bullies don't win. And I said, baby, they don't, because we're going to go in there and we're going to impeach the motherfucker.
But the top dog Democrats say they should cool their heels.
Before you impeach somebody, you have to persuade the American public that it ought to happen. You have to persuade enough of the opposition party voters, or of the Trump voters.
This fight didn't begin in 2019. Back during the 2016 Democratic primary, rank-and-file leftists felt as if the nomination had been robbed from them. And later, WikiLeaks confirmed that it was indeed rigged against them. And they didn't forget about it either.
The video from last night really shows the passion that these Bernie Sanders supporters have and the anger that they have. They feel like they are being shut out.
In 2016, Trump swept in and took the Republican Party in a new populist direction. And it's pretty clear that the Democratic Socialist wing wants to take the Democratic Party in a new direction as well. But there are some pretty solid and entrenched leaders who are determined to stop them. Caleb Maupin, RT, New York.
I'm Rick Sanchez. You found us on YouTube, and that's awesome. But you know what? I'm also live every night at 7 and 8 p.m. Eastern on DirecTV and Dish and cable and satellite, the RT app, and Pluto TV. I'll see you there.